What's up, guys? Today we're playing Epic 7, and today we're on a subscriber account, Snow Me the Way. Now in today's video, we're going to go into some beginner tactics into Guild War. I'm also going to show you all the heroes that I built so far to get the account to where it is today. Here we go with our first battle. Now what I want to do today is I kind of want to show you how to play a standard, maybe even an aggro if we come across some of those comps, but I really want to focus on comps that are, that you see quite a lot, especially in the mid to early late game. This top comp is something that we see all the time. I mean, Senya Shu, that's like basically as old as Epic 6, right? And then the bottom comp is a Ravi, so we want to try and pull in our Alencia. Now, honestly, that bottom comp is probably going to take the rest of my life. So we're going to try and speed this video up just a little bit and see how it goes. On this top one, we are using a Landy. Really doesn't matter which one you use. I expect that all of these are going to go into this CRRA, and so that's really what's important, is that he's able to tank that Senya, is able to tank that Shu, and then hopefully get off a horse. Now the Landy hopefully will not get hit. You can use something else here, like maybe the Moonlight Bellona, she probably works. Anything that's not going to be a water unit, I think will be good. And let's just go ahead and push you back. Senya Shu, I mean, man, how many times we fought Senya Shu, right? I actually get kind of bored and start to do random things on Senya Shu comps. So hopefully I do okay with that, and I'm not going to whiff too hard. Now you can see that one thing I did do that was probably a mistake is that I didn't put the immunity onto the Landy. Now she takes a hit. Hopefully she survives. Hopefully she doesn't get countered 18 times by Shu. That would be amazing. Oh my goodness, are you even serious? I guess today is going to be one of those days. Downright failure. People, they underestimate CRRA. They do. All the time. They're always underestimating CRRA and the amount of damage that he's able to put out. Now what I want to do is go into this Shu. Looks like I have about, what is that, 19,000? Not going to be enough to kill her with the shield. I can probably come in and kill Senya right now, but I do want Senya to do a little bit more. Let's go ahead and finish you off. We'll heal up, and then we'll start over again.
Is it my turn? Take your pain away.
It's been 84 years.
Playing this type of game does seem a little bit like you're playing with fire, but honestly, even though we lose Landy, it's just having CRRA is amazing coming into a lot of these comps. If you're looking at a Violet, if you're looking at a Rimuru, if a Celine, a Senya, I mean, really, what do we do there? Just two-man the whole team. It's amazing. Now on to this battle here, what we're going to try and do is put down as much injury as possible. I want to kill pretty much everyone, so it's going to take a while, especially with the Doris back there tanking this a Ravi. Honestly, what we have to do is kill this girl first, and we'll see how much damage this a Ravi does before we go ahead and trigger anything else. Oddly enough, I did not get the S1 to S2 combo. Does she need to have Molagoras into her passive ability? That would be unfortunate, wouldn't it? That would be unfortunate. Let's see.
Doesn't hurt anymore, does it?
Hey Ravi, only 22,000. We really need to get 27 to 29,000 for her to do any meaningful damage. She's not going to do enough damage like this, so it is what it is. We're just going to take a while and beat these guys one at a time. We do have a defense break here, and look at this, yeah, 75% of the time, so this really will take forever. 2 turns in a row did not pull the mind's eye. We're going to keep going on this, but we're going to come back because, man, I totally forgot about that passive ability. Here we go with the last little bit. You see a Ravi down to 17,000 there. When we get the Mind's Eye, I am using the Soul Burn or S number 1 to land that defense break,
Will
but
no longer
otherwise it's
hide.
pretty okay,
Even
honestly.
if you stay
I would
out,
rather have some Molagora into her
never
S
give
number
up.
2 passive ability to speed this fight up a
Do
little
I
bit.
look like a
It is
pushover
taking
to
a
you?
lot longer than I expected. Also, we're getting some resist from this A-Ravi, which is a
I'll
little bit
protect you.
abnormal, but still shouldn't be too much longer. You can see we're
I
almost to
sense
that
new
draw,
magic
so
in it.
regardless, we're going to be getting a win on this fight. This A-Ravi just not doing enough damage to be able to tank out this Doris. Like, she's doing a fantastic
So
job.
this should be enough.
And honestly, Alencia doing pretty decent damage considering she's on an
Shall
extremely
we get
scuffed
started?
build.
Son of light. Burn!
I study so that I can help others.
Your dead comrades are waiting for you.
Show your elders some respect.
If I must fight, this won't be an easy fight.
Let me show you the results
It
of my
doesn't hurt
research.
anymore,
does it?
Stop bugging me. I'll smash that arrogant face of yours into the ground.
And there we go, one A-Ravi down.
I
Love
always
killing
keep my
A-Ravi.
word.
There's gotta be something wrong with you if you don't like smashing her face into the ground. Next up, let's go into a little bit different kind of comp. We see here that we have Senya yet again, and then we have this Violet, and we're going to go ahead and see if we can use up our Zahak and our new Inferno Kazu. Let's make sure he does have the right artifact, and he does. There's a 4% chance that I'm going to miss this, but it shouldn't be too bad. We'll see kind of how it goes. And a bottom team, I'm basically going to use the exact same thing, so I'm going to bring in the Lethe that we build. Or I guess her name's Lethe. And she should work out just fine as well. 25k, 245, and some effectiveness. This bottom one, I don't know. I don't know. We're going to see how it goes. We're going to try it out. Going against Dark Corvus can sometimes be difficult if you don't have a straws or you don't have a lot of injury, and I don't have those things yet. So my Zahak is at 250 something or other. So this is about 240 right here on the DN. Also, we see that my Inferno Quasi a little bit fast. I think that'll be fine. We'll kill the Violet first. Let's go ahead and boost you up. And then let's go ahead and we're going to see if we can one-shot this Violet. I need some more damage on Zahak before he can really accomplish this, but we might get lucky. There we go. And he also does not have any Molagora, so that's also important to note because he'll do a lot more damage with some Molas. Now we have, well, we're not going to worry about Senya, are we? Let's see if we can one-shot this without the Soul Burn. Didn't think about that. I really want to have the Soul Burn. That would have been one dead DN for sure if I had a Soul Burn. Now, I don't want to use the S3 here, so we're just going to S1 here, just like so, and we'll have to survive one round from this Senya, but otherwise should be just fine. Last words there, right?
Give me strength.
Love that. He cleanses.
While you blink.
Don't kill my Sid. Oh, Sid's gonna die. Too fast. If I would have been able to kill this DN, I wouldn't have had the problem. We do get a hit on that Senya, and now we should be able to kill her just fine. Actually, I don't have any Molagoras into Inferno Kazu, so this might be a chance. 2 burns, 15,000. Wow. Wow, 194 only. But you're gonna die regardless. We do lose Sid though. That is disappointing. If I had that Soul Burn, that would have been a little bit different story. But right here should be it. We're just gonna Soul Burn on S number 1, and Zahak does a ton of damage on that Soul Burn. Not clean, but we won. Now this is going to be the real fight. I don't want to AoE here. Instead, what I'm going to do is I'm going to take out this this tie win. So we get the S number 1, then we're going to Soul Burn S2 and then go into S1 again. Now I think I might wait one more turn because I don't want to run into this one.
I hope you're ready.
Leave it to me.
Honestly, she's pretty fun to play. Leafy. I don't use her very often, but when I do, she is just so much fun to play. Let's put up this defense right here. And then, do we want to Soul Burn? I don't want to Soul Burn yet. Let's just get the S number 1, and then we'll kill him on the next turn. When you're going against something like a Maid Chloe, you know, bringing in some of the extinction, very important. What I would normally do on my account is I would come into this fight with my own Dark Corvus, and then I would just use the Tywin to build up Dark Corvus. Then I would do a Soul Burn on their Dark Corvus and kill him. So it really isn't that big a deal. Did not get the kill there though. No Molagora. 19k. Honestly, I thought that would be it. Let's go ahead and just go into this Maid Chloe.
Learn your place.
I sense new magic nearby.
What a waste of time. Dealing with you.
Let's see what damage we get. No Molagora
Just a waste
onto
of
her
my
S number
time.
3, I don't think. Okay, 18,000. Pretty nice. She's just gonna take these guys out one by one. Let's get one hit. Well, how much did he have on him? I don't remember how much HP was there.
Protect you.
I want to save this Tywin so that I don't have to hit the Dark Corvus when I don't have to.
Can defeat me?
Stun on everyone.
Did that no longer hide.
Let's see this Dark Corvus, 26,000.
Learn your
Okay,
place.
26,000. We're going to have to... This will take a couple of rounds, I think. Let's just go with this.
Should we get started? Yeah.
You're giving me a headache.
I don't think we have the S1 here. Let's try it.
That was never gonna work. What a waste of time. You keep swarming. You'll only prolong the pain.
Let me
So
show you the results
close.
of my research.
So close. We are pretty close here, so let's just go ahead and we'll kill him on the next turn.
Giving me a headache.
What does this do? Cannot receive combat readiness. We'll get one more turn out of the Dark Corvus without setting him off, so that should be pretty okay, and then we'll go ahead and finish
If I
him.
must fight.
Giving me a headache. Dealing with you is just a waste of my time. Learn your place. You'll never
That's
get
right.
close to me.
Learn your place.
Such an
Lithy pulling it down. She's doing a great job. I was really concerned about that Dark Corvus though. You never know, and that's why we bring in Doris to tank out these dark units. She's so fantastic at it. Try and develop a light tank as well as a dark tank so that you can go into these battles and they're a little more predictable for you. And lastly, I wanted to find an all-light team, but not able to do that today. So we're going to go in and we are going to use Inferno Kazu again. Now, the idea on this top one is that we're not going to try and outspeed. We're going to let him AoE. We're going to go ahead and go with some people who can then counter on that AoE ability, and it should be fine. If this Behu goes crazy, then, maybe it'll be pretty rough. Now, on the bottom one, what we're going to try and do is we're going to tank all of this. So this Zio is going to go into the Moon Bunny and knock her back. When this guy gets his very first turn, she's going to give everyone a nice fancy buff, and then hopefully we get the Mercedes to pop off a bit, and that should be pretty much it.
Careful, please move
Now these guys,
slow.
wow, so slow. Are you psyching me out? Is he naked? Is this guy naked? He must be naked. That's okay. We're going to silence everyone, and then you're going to lose your first turn regardless.
Attack.
Now I want to say... Actually, I have no idea
As long as I have
who
something to
is...
protect,
I have no
never
idea
guess it'll
who's
all
got the
be
highest HP, so I don't even know who he's going to kill. That's disappointing. But let's see. We're going to go ahead and we're going to try and kill this... Are we going to kill the Behu? I think we will. He is silenced. Let's go ahead and kill you. If you're naked, you're just going to die, right?
No place in this world. I'll destroy everything with the power of the Inferno.
The only bad part about using Inferno Kazu, that S number 3, when he does not have his buff, is that it's not guaranteed to land, and that's pretty much what we see from Aiden, which is why I hate to use her. I hate Aiden. She's just not good. Like, every once in a while, you'll use her, and she'll be amazing. She'll dodge, like, everything, and she will counterattack, and she'll get the kills, and then the other 90% of the time, that's exactly what's going to happen. She's just going to die, and it's disappointing. I really don't like evasion heroes. I always say invasion heroes will break your heart, and for sure they will, but it's pretty much what I expect, so, it's whatever. Let's go ahead and kill Inferno Kazu, doing an amazing job today. He's on a totally scuffed build, and we'll go over some of the stats right after this last battle. Let's see what we get now out of this. We're expecting a clean sweep here. I am, which means I'm totally going to lose. Okay, she does get the resist. Do we want to do this? I think we do. That way, if we get a counterattack onto the Mercedes that she's going to hit twice, and hopefully just go ahead and wipe everyone. There's the double there, and there is our buff. So he does no damage. No damage. Doesn't matter how cool you are. It's never going to happen, bro.
Shall we begin?
Now I want to see what this Ervelyn does. You don't usually see them onto defense. They're usually, I guess, just used maybe high end, or they're used for PvE only. He should be specializing against heroes that have, tanky heroes like this. But, who knows?
Blaze. How adorable.
Haha, Moon Bunny! Moon Bunny's trolling. She's like, you're so cute. Look at you trying so hard to win in everything. Moon Bunny's a troll. Oh, that's great. Oh, you know what? We probably just could have killed with that S number 3, but it doesn't matter here because Mercedes, once she gets a turn, I mean, ridiculous amounts of damage, right? Let's go now into some of the builds that we have. Aiden, not good for anything. You can swap her out into a different artifact if you like, but I keep her on her own artifact because I really only bring her into dark units to try and one-shot them. She's on a damage build, and it's a pretty good build if you ask me. 4,000 attack, almost 350 crit damage, 190 onto speed. It's pretty good Aiden. We didn't use this Zealot Carmen Rose. She's on just leftover gear, and I'm using her for the Light Expo. Now we come into Sid. Now he's not too bad. I want a little bit more onto the attack, but at 230, 300 crit damage, he is good. He's on a pen set as well. And then we have the number 3 exclusive equipment, which is really the only one that you use. Now we come to Adventure Ras, and he's the one I'm going to use all the way through Abyss, 120. 1500 defense, 25k is good, 203 is okay. He's not PvP. You're not using him into RT or anything like that. So 190, 200, whatever. Then you want 95% effectiveness. That way you can pull him into Nightmare Raid and also use him on the final boss. Conquer Lilius we did not use. She needs to be faster. This is a HP Conquer Lilius. Minimum 265, 275 is better. And then I like to run her onto Music Box or onto the Championship Trophy. I ran her Championship Trophy for a long time, and I like that stun on the S1. He has it on Warhorn. I just haven't changed it. I just haven't. If you can, try and get over 100 effectiveness. That's going to help her out quite a lot. Now we come to Zahak. I want 3,500 attack. He'll get some more onto his imprint if he ever gets some more imprints. I want him at 265 speed min. That way when we're going up against something like a Moonlight Shoe or an Aiden, that he will outspeed, and then we'll be able to one-shot them. 100% crit chance is what I want. That way he can crit something like a Shoe or something like a Senya 100% of the time. Now if you have, I think, 70% crit chance, then you'll crit a Shoe. And you need a 100% chance to crit the Senya. And then you still have a slight chance to not crit onto a Moonlight Landy. So that's, taking a gamble a little bit. Number 1, exclusive equipment. It's the only one you should run him on. This will give attack buff to whoever you bring in. Then you can do as a hot cleave. And then I keep him on to the Symbol of Unity for that extra 20% chance so he can one-shot Aidens. Now we come to Lethe. She's doing pretty good. I think I showed her stats before. 25k, not bad. If you can get 27, 28, that's better. 245, and then some effectiveness. She doesn't really need the effectiveness because she's not counting on it for her S3. Then I'm running her onto her own artifact for some more damage and some more health. Landy totally wiped, right? She totally bit it. This Landy isn't bad. I use her for the Dark Expedition. This is a Landy on free gear that we're basically using to clear PvE content. You can run her onto speed set, but you have to be under 185 if you want to fully auto onto the Dark Expedition boss, which is why she's a little bit slower. Any kind of Landy that you have that you're running will pretty much work as long as yours doesn't totally eat like mine did. And then I keep her onto Rozak, so you'll do a little more damage onto the expeditions. Luna we did not use. She's on free gear. I used her for the Fire Expedition. She did full clear all Dagger Sakar on these stats. Her artifact is level 0. She's using the number 1 exclusive equipment. This is the one that you use for the Fire Expo. Number 3 is the one that you want to use for PvP. Coming into Mercedes now. Damage Mercedes. I don't have any counter gear working on that gear, and so I keep her on her own artifact after the, I think, episode number 3. Yeah. Then we want to be somewhere around 4,000 attack. We want, if you can, 1,000, 1,200 defense, 10k onto HP, 170 or so speed, 100 crit chance, and around about 275, 300 crit damage should be just fine. And then, of course, we have our imprint. Spectrebria, which I am terrible at using, so I never use her. She's on free gear as well, not even reforged. Damage Spectene, just in case I decide I want to pull her into something. But really, I geared her out because I wanted to try her, and I can't remember what I used her for, but it didn't work, so she's a little bit light onto health and defense, which is why I have Perfect Valor. We'll eventually move this one or the other Perfect Valor onto a Ravi. Angel of Light Angelica, barefoot meta. She's amazing, right? I have her almost 200% effectiveness at 243 speed. Everything else try and get into HP and defense. And I have her onto book. Now the reason I have her onto book is because someone has to use it. I usually like Spirit's Breath better. This one will work because I want her to go after a lot of the enemies are using their S3s, or after they put up buffs. So a 243 is pretty good. Sigurd we're not using today. She is just for the W13. Shadow Knight Pill, as we built in our last video. Did I use her? I think that I did. I have her onto Aureus. She needs to be at plus 15 Aureus. I want to be at 2,000 defense, 1,800 is okay. And then I want to be at 28 to 30k HP. She can be run a little bit slower, and if you have something into effectiveness, then she can soul burn on her S number 3 to continue to provoke something. She also gets increased hit chance, so if you bring her into something like a Violet, she can provoke him for basically the rest of his life. Seaside Bologna we didn't use. This one's just for W13. Here is Crow. Honestly, it's a pretty good Crow. I like this Crow. Did I build him? I'm pretty sure I did. If not, I'll take credit. 1,500 defense, 28k HP, 170. I do not want my Crow fast. I want him to go after the enemy Rimuru. That way he is able to then horse if Rimuru takes him low enough. Anything less into effect resist. You must have him on Aureus. If you don't have him on Aureus, then the enemy is just going to ignore him, right? If you're only using him onto offense, then you can put him onto whatever, but I always keep him onto Aureus, and number 3 is the one that I use. Now we come to Magic Scholar Doris. She is fantastic. I use her for taking out all the dark heroes. 14 defense, 22k HP. These could be a little bit higher if you want. 170 is fine because she gets a little bit of CR boost from her Water's Origin. 97% effect resist. Shu, we only used 1 free gear for Nightmare Carcass. She works out just fine. If you missed that video, go and check that one out. Montmorency now we did use. I want to run her on Rod of Amaryllis, but I only have 1, and it's on Tamarind for Nightmare mode. 1,400 defense, 18k HP, 179. Try and get her over 200 effect resist. All free gear here, and she's working just fine. Now we come to Amelia, who we also didn't use. I have her built for Nightmare Carcass, and she's just on free gear. You want her to be fast, which mine isn't, and a little bit tanky, and then if you can get some effect resist, that works as well. Camila, this is the one we're going to use into C13, but honestly, I'm pulling her into so many things. You guys have seen my videos where I'm using her in Expedition, I'm using her into Hall of Trials, I'm using her basically everywhere. Basically everywhere. She's like Blonde Assassin. You want 65% effectiveness if you want to pull her into the hunts, and you want to have a 85% if you're pulling her in expeditions. Moon Bunny we used today, she did fantastic, right? 245 is good, so she can give the attack buff to her team. I want to get over 200% effect resist, but I don't have the gear. Then I have her onto Doctor's Bag. That way she can remove some debuffs as well. Then we come to Leia, who we did not use today. She's working pretty well. Same stats as Lethe. Go for the same stats. If you can get her a little bit faster, try and go over 25k health, and she'll work out. And then we have her on her own artifact because Shred, right? Rwanda now. Love your skills, hate your design. I want to... Actually, this is just fine. 1,600, 22k, 175. A little bit more effect resistance. Cool. I like her on Celestine, but she's on to Touch of Rikos. Destina. Hate Destina. Whatever. Same stats. Same stats. Don't make her too fast because you want her to go before your other bruiser team, but you want her slow enough that the enemy goes first. So I run her 15, 16. I want this to be more like 20k, and then over 200 effect resist. This one is he was actually using this. Yes, number 1. I like the number 2 because that will give you more combat readiness. Navy Captain Landy, this is the best I can do. You need 3,500 or more attack. Then I like to have something like 1,500 defense and 17k HP, 100 crit damage, the rest, or 100 crit chance, rest and crit damage. This is it's a counterbot, so Elbrus. Angelica, just used for Nightmare Carcass. You can see the look on her face. She's so surprised. Yep, I don't like you. You're useless. So we have her on free gear, basically the same stats as everyone else. Inferno Kazu now. He's on scuffed build. I want him to be around about 4k attack, 1,300 defense, 16k health, 186. We need him a little bit slower. Because we want the enemy Senya to go first, right? So the enemy Senya is around 180, 200, which means he needs to be around 170 to 180. Number 2 exclusive equipment for the immunity. Then we have Munda Spear, which is good. It's good. It'll increase his combat readiness. I actually like Indestructible Gators better, but I don't have it. Aeria we're using for C13 and also for Nightmare Queen. All she needs is to have the 85. Well, she needs 105 effectiveness for Nightmare Queen, and you can pull her into the Light Expo at 85% effectiveness. Crimson Armin now. Don't really use her. This is someone that he had built before. I think I used her once or twice. She's just tank. She's there to soak up damage, and we have her onto the Adamant Shield. Tamarind. I mean, where can't you use Tamarind? You can use her everywhere. She is amazing. She'll work just great on these stats. Try and get to more effect resist, and she is good. I like to have the Rod of Amaryllis. That's best in slot for me. Then we come to Mediator Coward. He needs a pair of boots. I don't know how that escaped me. And we're using him for friendship. Try and get your Mediator to 230. That way the enemy Angel of Light can go first. He comes back and then cleanses everything. Loka, we're using her in Expedition, also into B13. Basically the same stats as Camila. Brieg, again, where can't you use him? He's using the free counter set. 22k is good, 1300 is good, 178 is also good. Then you want to have something like 35% or more effectiveness because he gets some from his S3. This is our Terranor guard that we're using for Abyss. He should eat on these stats, right? He needs to have, oh, he's missing crit damage onto his necklace, but otherwise should be pretty good. Mory, W13, he works on all stats. Now we come to Alencia. The one I used today was on the XP artifact because I'm boss like that. We have her onto speed and onto the pen set. You want to put her onto immunity. Also, we have crit chance necklace, crit damage. Go for 23k health, 170 or more speed, 275 or more crit damage, and she's going to totally destroy. Now we come to Champion Zorat. I was just basically farming him with Raid. So he's just using the free Gav Elite set, nothing big. He's just got some gear to hold. Mascot Hazel is missing 2 pieces. I used her for the Nightmare Secretary Vera. She works out well. Don't invest a lot into her. Mascot Hazel will work just fine. And then we are going to build an Ravi. Try and get her onto a counter and a pen set. Try and go for 27k health. I'm going to say 27k health. Then we want 12 to 1500 defense. Go for 100% crit chance. And then crit damage. You know, Ravi is one of those heroes where more health is sometimes better than having crit damage. Go for 230 or more. 230 or more, but try and make sure you meet that health goal, or else she's a little bit hard to use. Then you can use a damage artifact or proof of valor, and she'll be good. And then lastly, we are building a Sirmia. This is going to be for Hall of Trials. Try and get the Rage set. If you can, pen works, but you could also use the crit set. And then we want to use a number 1 exclusive equipment for the extra chance with playing with fire, which is hot. Obviously, playing with fire. But that is going to work the best for her in a Hall of Trials to do big damage. This is going to be the last video on this account because I really want to give it back before the collaboration so that they can enjoy it and continue to build on the foundation that we've made. Thank you guys so much for watching. I hope that you enjoyed this video and this series. Give me a like so other people just like you can find it as well. Until next time, happy hunting and good luck on your battles.